Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to another episode on the Quan King channel. It's your girl down the Crypto TA, and as always, we're gonna kick things off of where I left things off on Tuesday. And look, we're printing some money right now, okay? We haven't really gone too far, but we're actually printing some money right now. So anybody who set up a long position on Tuesday, you should be well into some profits. And I'm going to tell you what I'm looking at next. But first, just a recap. So on Tuesday, we were looking at price action here for Bitcoin. And the idea was that Bitcoin just had to maintain where this yellow line is at, right? So we had it pushed up just a little bit, just slightly, ever so slightly up, just a little bit more. I think it was like a 109,500, something like that. And then we just dropped it in just a little bit more. No, I'm saying I'm saying 1,905. And this is sitting at 1,905.50. So we were somewhere in here. Let's just say that we were somewhere in here. But anyway, so we just had to maintain this yellow line in here, and we did do that, and we did that very well. And then we were looking for the break to the upside here because we were observing a range, and I think that range was coming from like the 4 hour time frame. It could have been this one right here. So um we did end up getting that breakup. It looks like we might have a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders here, but I'm going to tell you some bad news also. Okay, so currently just looking at the 4 hour time frame, we might be starting to get a little bit extended here on the 4 hour time frame. Now the potential move that I'll be looking for the 4 hour time frame, I'll tell you that price can potentially come back down to here. That's what I see in the chart right now. So I'm just gonna move this line. I'm gonna move this line in a bit. I'm gonna give a few more people a little bit of time to get in here, but I am gonna move this line because, like I said, the 4 hours indicating that price action could dip back into here. Now that would give us some issues with our inverse head and shoulders, but on the good side of this inverse head and shoulders here, price can potentially push up into here. So this would be the measured move for the inverse head and shoulder, would be up into here. So just be aware of that. If you haven't taken some profit, do take some profit. The idea on Tuesday was that price would push up into here, and I was looking at this in here, and so all of that has been met. So I'm just going to delete this now, and I can delete this too. Um, let's see. This hold. Oh my gosh, I really hate to move it already, but let me just zoom out to the 4 hour time frame. I don't have it synced on the 4, so I'm gonna do it from the 4 hours since that's where I'm getting it from. Let me just go all intervals here, and that is going to put us to a place of right about here. I might actually even set it to here. So I'm going to set it to here. And so this is going to be our whole zone for today. So in the event that for some reason we lose the structure of this inverse head and shoulder, this would be the point where you want to see Bitcoin price action hold here. So just looking at it from the 4 hour time frame also, it looks like we might have a little bit of a channel in here. We got some sort of a rising formation through here. I'm going to delete this, but I just wanted to check it. Let's see what we might have. So we may have some sort of rising formation. Just looking at it from the 4 hour time frame. From the lower time frames, it does appear that we have an inverse head and shoulder. But if we're not holding here, and if we're not pushing up into here, and we do see a reversal, then we could come back inside of this range that we did get the breakup out of, and we could back test in here. And then failure to hold here would lead a little bit lower into prices. All right. And this was just a 15-minute time frame in here. It was the same scenario in here. Of course, it's all synced together. I'm going to delete this. This point right here was a little bit higher. Again, it was the lower portion in here. So this point in here was a little bit higher. So I said I probably wouldn't put that on the table. I am still looking to see if this would still be a good short option in here for price action. Somewhere here around the golden pocket. We never managed to, yeah, I think this is still good. Yeah, this is still good. So this may still be a good short option also if we do get that push up that I'm mentioning right now, just based on the inverse head and shoulder. Now the 15-minute time frame is showing that the delta and the MACD is turning down. So you're getting a negative posture on both of those. Right now, the delta is below the zero line, which means if you did use like the MACD with the MACD cross of the signal, then that's negative. So that's, that has a little bit of a bearish cross on that. And the RSI also was showing that price action is a little bit extended in here for this 15-minute time frame also. So it's pretty far right now from the zero line, so it may not be as relevant today at the moment, because we do have some data today, right? So we do have it is Thursday, so we do have prelim GDP and we do have unemployment claims today, and we also have some medium impact news as well today. So that is at 8:30. That may give price action a little bit of volatility. We also have the bubbles over here, and check out Crow. Check out Crow. Now it was just up like 55%, but wow, just wow. This thing is doing really, really good today. I'm going to take a look at that chart also. We have Ethereum, which I have not gone in and pulled anything, extended anything out here for Ethereum, but we do have Ethereum, and it's a 1 hour time frame. Not really looking as good as I would like for it to look, but nonetheless, it's still holding its own. So not performing all that great. Now remember that I've been talking to you about Solana versus ETH, right? That's been a conversation, and I was saying to you that Ethereum may start to consolidate a little bit. I'm not sure how long that's going to last, but Ethereum may start to consolidate a little bit because Solana dominance looks like it's creeping up against Ethereum. And then typically when that happens, a lot of the altcoins do not perform as well due to that. So I'm going to take a look at that also, because I've been screaming it. That ETH, Solana versus ETH could be looking to reverse. Now I can't say we out of the woods yet over here on Sol, but you can see how nice this little candle is over here. So I have been saying, hey, you want to watch down in here. I was really looking for it to dip in just a little bit more. So far, we didn't get that. I mean, we could do one of these moves over here still, but I just know that somewhere in here, we're going to start to see that Solana dominance turn around, and we could be headed there. So just know that. Ethereum still needs to build up a little bit more pressure for a nice strong breakout to get to those targets that everybody's calling for. Something like a 10,000. My target's 9, but something like a 10. It still needs to coil a little bit to build up the pressure to get that move out. And that's just in my opinion. It's my opinion. It's based on my analysis of the charts. But Solana versus Ethereum is starting to creep up pretty good, which means I should be taking a look at the Solana chart. So let me do that. Go 4 hour. Okay. And Solana's not doing bad either. Let me just pull these out because I really haven't been on the chart. I took all day yesterday off from the charts, and I just, did my thing. Been exercising really, really heavy. All right, so not looking bad over here for Soul. We did finally push up a little bit more above, this lower part here, this range at 207. So we know that we'd be looking at the 227 next, and if we can surpass that, then we'd be looking in here. For Soul. But so far Solana's looking pretty decent. It's looking pretty decent. And let me check something else over here on Soul while I'm at it. Oh yeah, Solana looks pretty good. And since I'm on a 4 hour, this right in here, somewhere between, I would really have to tell you right in here. As long as Solana doesn't slip back down below here, I'm just gonna put that. It's my dollar. Just gonna put that in here. I'm gonna go with this one at the lower. So this would be your hold here for Soul. And as long as it's maintaining this and it's up and away, because the 4 hour looks pretty decent. You got a little bit of tightening. So could see that pullback maybe coming into unemployment claims or something like that. But you do have some welding going on right now with Soul that might bring it back down here towards this level. And if it manages to hold, then you're safe. If it doesn't, then you can be dripping all the way back down here. Okay, so that's Soul. And let me take a look at Crow, because Crow is doing fantastic. Oh, sheesh. Oh boy. Oh baby. Oh baby. Yes. Yes. And remember, I told you I didn't even map out Crow. I never mapped out Crow. I just simply bought Crow on the basis that our president, Mr. DT, has 5% of it in his portfolio. So I just picked it up on that. And I haven't even looked at my account to see how well I'm doing, but it looks like I'm about to take some profit off of this thing before we start to lose it. But we are starting to put in a little bit of a coil here again. Same way we put in a coil over here. We do seem to be coiling in here as well for Pro. So this thing looks really, really good. I already see Solana trying to take that little dip. So let me see where we at on this. Oh, this thing looks really, really good. Looks really, really good. Jeez. It has to be all outside the bands. Oh, wow. What an explosion. That looks nice. Let me see, 12. Yeah, I'm about to take some profit on this. What in the world happened here? We went from, and this is one that I haven't even been peekabooing at this. Some things you just buy and you don't even worry about. I probably need to not worry about it now. Ah, fantastic though. That looks really nice. Let me take a look at some other things I've been looking for to break out and just kind of see what we're doing. It's a 12-hour chart. This thing, wow. All right, let me drop back down to a 4 here real quick. Just do this. I'm gonna add the midpoint on this one. Alright, want to see if we hold that midpoint. Usually when you get something like this, I consider this to be a P-shape range. P-shape, usually you see some sort of rejection down, but nonetheless, this thing is doing pretty good right now. Let's see. Been waiting on near to do something. It's not doing it yet. All right. So I think I might have to cancel this. You know, sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. I'm not sure. All I was still looking for that extra push down here on near. So it still hasn't got there yet. It's still trying to work itself out. So no results on this one just yet. The other one would have been, let's see who's been ranging here. ICP has been ranging between two levels and it's still there. It is still there within this in this little range, consolidation range here. So no breakout yet over here. And then the other one is AVAX that also is just moving within the range. And we never made our drop down into here. So still don't have a setup over here for AVAX yet either. I'm gonna take this away. This is so not important at this point. And I'm gonna take these away. AVAX is still looking pretty good though. I still haven't picked up any yet simply because I'm just waiting for it to be at a price level that works for me. Be a weekly. This thing is still worth buying, and it's not financial advice. I'm just putting that out there. AVAX is very much worth buying. I don't know how well it'll do against Sol though. If Sol dominance is going to pop up, I'm not sure how well that's going to do. Let's take a look at some of the other altcoins while we're at it. While I'm waiting on Bitcoin to do some shenanigans. Oh, the other thing too. I'm sorry. The other thing here too for Bitcoin is going to be before I get too into everything else. Push back on the 4 hour in just a minute. This might be up a little bit too high. I'm just gonna modify this. Yeah, I'm gonna do it like that. So this is actually gonna be your hold here. And then I'm gonna do a second one. And it's gonna be right here. All right, so this is just gonna be the first point we wanna see price manage to hold in here. And then this is gonna be the second one right here. For Bitcoin. All right, and then I'm gonna jump back over here and just take a look and see what the rest of the market is doing. Let's see, 4 hour. All right, so we're not taking any highs in here for XRP. And we're starting to reject around VWAP at this time. Looks like we're building some pressure though for some sort of a break. You know what I'm missing? And let me just see, because I don't have this on. Every now and then I need it. Okay, so it's Looks like it's walking the line of the 20 SMA right now. There's no actual pressure over here on the 4-hour time frame. Let's see, 1-hour time frame, nothing. Below 20 SMA here on the 1-hour time frame and 12-hour time frame. Yeah, you're definitely looking for some sort of a break to the upside, but it may not come immediately here for XRP. But price is putting in some a squeeze. Price is putting in a little bit of a squeeze. Not too strong over here, down here on this, but you can see it right here. So price is putting in a bit of a squeeze. You can see it from both of these in here. Let's see, SUI. Haven't looked at SUI either. Put this back on the floor just to kind of see. So SUI is basically still in between those two ranges that I've talked about here. I extended these two out because they were like the most important ones at the moment. So we're not pushing past this right now. Don't actually have any relevant pressure in here. I think I can just go ahead and drop this idea of this head and shoulder formation plan now. I mean, it's just extending more and more to the right. So I'm gonna just delete this stuff in here. And so if that happens, it happens. We'll be looking at the golden pocket. Turn all that off. All right, so nothing particularly special over here for SUI at the moment either. I do think that unemployment claims is probably going to have some sort of effect, and I do see Bitcoin already trying to get that little move down. Oh boy. This 4-hour might actually see a break to the upside here. I guess kind of like XRP, but we're going to end up waiting until, won't see the actual move until maybe the unemployment data comes out or market opens, but it will get a push up. BNB. Let's see if this makes a difference. If it doesn't, I'm just going to drop it. So I'm just going to delete this line in here. We're whipping it too much, so no respect for it. This might still be a rounding top in here for BNB, so just know that. If it's not, then we're looking to get up into about the 786, but this might be a rounding top. It started to get too choppy here at the top side. Just been really slow. I probably have some new levels in here too, so I will be looking at doing a little bit of maintenance, chart maintenance today. Also, let's see what we got new in here. Let's see, ADA, same thing. I can't use, well, this one I might be able to use a little bit more. I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna delete that. Market really hasn't moved that much. I guess just Bitcoin so far, and Solana and Crow, and yeah, that's about it. Mm, hasn't really done much at all for most of these altcoins. Okay, so I mean, right now, just still holding above, VWAP. Whatever pattern this is, I don't really have a bottom for it, other than the horizontal line. So I guess we're still looking at the same thing in here. If it's not going to be 82, then 78 here for Crow. Sorry, Cardano. So you're in your standard deviation, probably one. Probably in standard deviation one right now. Yeah. All right. With the squeeze here. Let me see where your hold area is for ADA. Huh. Really, where price action is right now, you need to hold that. It's that simple over here for this one. Um, you could, let me see. Maybe somewhere right here. Be somewhere right around in here. You want to see price action hold somewhere about here for ADA. And if you're doing that, then the squeeze would be to the upside. Probably end up coming back somewhere. Probably just into here. Yeah, probably end up coming somewhere just back into here. So no actual breakout just yet. But there's a nice squeeze in here. MACD rising, Delta rising, both positive. Squeeze on your RSI. So yeah, I'll be looking for a breakup on that too. H bar. I'm gonna take this away now. And for H bar, same thing basically as Cardano. Your low is going to be somewhere in here. And if you're not maintaining this, then you probably drop. May have take that away. Probably has a squeeze on it too. Doesn't look like the squeeze would really go too far, but nonetheless, this might be the case for all of your altcoins here at this point, where they have a little bit of a squeeze here on the 4-hour time frame. Be looking for some sort of a breakup to probably back into the trend line. Right now, though, H bar has full clearance on the top side. On the 4-hour, like there's no resistance in here. Like there was resistance on ADA. There's no resistance as far as I can tell. If it holds in here and it does start to break out, then there's nothing throughout here that suggests that it couldn't go as high as it wanted to go really for H bar. Let me check on the daily time frame. Let me do 12 first. All right, so 12 might give it something just right across here, how it's been chiseling out right across here. So there might be something in here for the 12, and then for the daily. Daily is like 20. Yeah. Daily's only right in here. There's nothing on the 4, but you do have some resistance on the. You start to go up a little bit higher. You do have some resistance that probably wouldn't allow price to push up too far without getting strong rejection. So Palmer. Hmm. All right, so Link is rounding out a little bit more. We talked about chain link potentially having like a rounding dome, a dome house. So just a rounding formation to cool off a little bit in here. It looks like it's still a go for that for chain link. Yeah, resistance is actually somewhere in here for link. If it did push up, it would be in here. It's trying to hold support in here right now. So with that said, it looks like the support. Well, it looks like it's actually this top side. So I'm gonna put this on here, but and the price came up. Let's see. It might be, yeah, it might just be back into here. But Chainlink is trying to hold in here. It is trying. All right, let me move on. You lose that, then to go lower. See height real quick. I probably need to get back over and look at Bitcoin. I'm literally still sitting in my long position from Tuesday. So I haven't even taken any profits off of that yet. Which I'm starting to get really bad at. Hold on. You see Hyperliquid. Sorry, that was my breakfast toast. Hype is basically looking to hold support. So right now for Hype, it is where price is currently. So I'm just going to put this right here. And then below this is going to be, it's actually going to be, yeah, it's actually this. So you got a little bit of a range in here for Hype between where it is now and here. You start to slip this one right here though, then might see a bounce back up into this 49, and then a fall, then a continuation down, likely over here for Hype. And that's just based on the 4-hour. And I'm gonna keep it to your 4 hour because on your 12 hour, it's down here. So I keep it on your 4. I think the 4 is probably gonna be the best chart to look at today. It's gonna be your 4 hour time frame. I'm gonna jump back over here on Bitcoin though, because like we might be starting to go down a little bit more. Let's see. And I need to consider TPing if I'm gonna, unless I'm gonna give it all back. We are sitting inside that CME gap for Bitcoin also. So we're just at the lower end of that CME gap. We haven't even filled that in completely. That's kind of like what I've been waiting on. I don't know if you've seen the CME gap, but you can see the clear inverse head and shoulders over here on the CME gap as well. So you can see that. And then we put in another little small gap in here, which we've already filled in. So, but we're just sitting here around the lower part of the CME gap. And then we got a lot more to push up into it to fulfill it. You have the same thing over here for Ethereum. I'm a little bit more skeptical over here on the one on Ethereum getting filled right now, but it can. It most certainly can. Whoops. I've been so tired. I say I'm tired every time I get on stream. But I've been so tired with my new regimen. Like I go, I've been trying to put in 15,000 steps a day, which I think is roughly somewhere around 6.5 to 7 miles. So I try to get it in all at once. So that's what I've been spending my mornings doing. I'm already dark skinned, but I'm really getting, the sun really got me yesterday in my walk. And then by the time I got to the gym, I was barely able to do anything. I was so exhausted. I've been tired every day trying to go. Let's see if there's anything special in here to talk about. There really is. I'm starting to get bored with charts. I tell you, I really am. I mean, I love it, but I'm starting to get bored with it because right now the market is kind of just sideways, a little bit up, a little bit down, sideways. Just it's not as exciting right now. All right, so we do have a squeeze on the 15-minute time frame also. Yeah. But we are above the 200 EMA. We started to slip the 200 EMA around 111. 1006. So it will be below our hold zone. We will start to slip the 200 EMA below here. Yeah, 12 hours says easy peasy. As long as we manage to hold, be easy getting up into here, which again is the measure move for the inverse head and shoulder. So it should be pretty simple based on the 12 hour. It's just a 4 hour right now. So when I measured this out earlier, I did it from here. You can see it puts us in here, and 12 hour is an agreement with this being a target zone for potential rejection. I don't know if that lines up with what I'm looking at here for this short. I have to go back and forward and look at this. It's a little bit over. And thank goodness I didn't even try to short in here. I mean, you would have been a good scalp position, because this was our initial target right here. Let me see what this looks like. So we're above this cloud. That's nice. And then in terms of the EMAs, just below the 1,000. And then here's our 200 in here. So this is like the 60. I don't think I have that one on. No, I don't. Okay. So it's been a long time since we've actually been in numerical order. We're not there yet. On our EMAs, and then that squeeze that I mentioned to you, you can see it right in here. It just relaxed a little bit, but I do Loopy Tunes 23. I do. I don't do it every day. I do it Monday, Tuesday. I take off on Wednesdays, and I do it Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So yeah, 5 a.m. with the exception of Wednesday and Sunday. And I happen to like this time simply because I'm out of the way of a lot of the other streamers. and I don't know, just to catch the market before market opens too. Just kind of see what we looking like prior to that. Oh, we just popped back up really good here on Crow. So now we're back up to about 57.7% up on Crow. Yeah, so my time here in the US, it would be 5 a.m. would be my starting time. And typically I'll go until 10 a.m. However, it is getting a little bit more difficult to just keep going till 10. It is. All right, let's see here. Oh, well, thank you, Loopy. I like saying your name, Loopy. That is adorable, Loopy. Yeah. Yeah, I think most of your streamers are probably somewhere around 8 a.m. Okay, pretty popular time. I guess I can keep streaming through some altcoins while Bitcoin is just kind of doing its thing. I don't think too much has changed with alts, which is why there's not a lot for me to say on them because nothing much has really changed. This dropped to 87.66. Entry 87.65. Hmm. That's interesting. We're still just going down on this anyway. This might be better for an entry. So no, nothing's really changed over here either. With Undo, we're looking at this FVG in here, and then your midway pointing to your fair value gap right here for some sort of a long setup in here, but off by a penny for the little pump that we did get in here. And since we're not starting to make any new highs just yet, we're still putting in lower highs and lower lows at this point. It may not be the best outcome just yet. Yeah, Aptos. I'm just going to delete this. Anything that may have had the head and shoulder formation with the alternative falling wedge, I'm just going to delete that data and just look at horizontal. So if we get there, we get there. So again, yeah, nothing's changed over here with Aptos either. Holding very well with the ascending trend line in here. Also our horizontal here at this weekly level. Looks like we did not manage to even get this far up to even get a push back into here. So no change. If we go lower, then we'll be looking at, wow, this must be from our range. It is. It's from our range. I mean, I have no choice but to look right back in here, unless there's something in between, like some sort of a 4-hour range for Aptos. But at the moment, it's just lower highs. So, and that would be a far drop. Let me see if there's anything in here for a 4-hour. Or it sort of is. Actually, let me do it. It is. Aptos, when you look at Aptos chart, maybe it's just Coinbase. I don't know what it is. It just seems like there's not a lot of traders in it, in my opinion. But maybe I'm wrong. It just doesn't look like. You know, I just don't like the way the chart looks sometimes. But in here for Aptos, there is this little bit of a range in here. Let's see. See if I can afford to pull this down some, and I can. All right, so basically the 4-hour range right here. And let me just, actually I'll do it from here. So I'm not modifying a lot over there, and this goes into pink. All right, so there is this 4-hour range here off the lows, and then the one below here doesn't actually have. Yeah, I can do this one. Alright, so this would be the 2 4-hour ranges to look at in here on some sort of a move down. I'm just making sure we know that this is a 4-hour. And it's determined the same way. Um, determined the same way, kind of like how VWAP is. So if we're gonna break down here on Aptos, that's what I'd be looking at in here. Otherwise, this is it right here for me. 367. See cost, has anything changed over here? Nothing, still the same from Tuesday. Just looking at this golden pocket 786 zone. Even added 50 in here. So we're in here right now. So nothing really special. Do have let me see how well this fits. Okay, so that's what we're nose diving at. Don't really need this anymore. So cost is still basically the same in between here and here. Just these two levels in here until something changes. So no new news with that. I don't know why this looks like a descending triangle. They've been trying to trick us lately too. They'll make something look bearish and then they'll pump it up, and they'll make something look bullish and then they'll dump it on you. Nothing's changed in here. Looks like we actually may have just met that measure move. That was good enough. So let's see. Yeah, that was good enough. If we do push down any further, then I'll be looking towards the golden pocket. Otherwise, yeah, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed really. Didn't even look at TIA. Air drone still hasn't made its way down here. I would just continue to extend this box out until we get here. Maybe we dance around in here a little bit more. Start to look a lot more like Link and BNB, because those are pumped really nice. So we're just really starting to look a lot more like those. Already looked at AVAX, ICP, those are the same. Polkadot. Let me take that away. Take this one away too, because it was between either being a head and shoulder or this little wedgy thing. So I'm gonna delete this stuff in here now. I don't even need that anymore. Oh boy, we're slipping a little bit more over here on Biddy. All right, so nothing much has changed over here on Polkadot either. Zoom out to the weekly time frame. We're just still in it. That's it. The squeeze is probably still building. Of course it is, because yeah, we're not really squeezing. We just have this very low volatility range in here. I mean, for a few weeks now, this is basically all we've been doing until we do start to pressurize in here. Yeah. We could be a little bit of a while longer here. I mean, this part in here looks okay. And this part in here suggests that we are squeezing the low volatility. I mean, it's a squeeze, but it's not. It's just low. I don't know. It's more of a low volatility read, in my opinion. But I'm still looking for a break to the upside. So that's it. No major changes. That's a terrible rejection. Not really get into pith. Let me see render. I don't know why I have this belief that we're going to come down here. And just sort of do. I don't need this anymore, so I'm going to take that away. It's just the next, I mean, it's the closest level that we would have next for on the macro for render. Right now, bounce off the golden pocket. I don't need this anymore either, so I'm gonna delete that. I just keep bouncing off of the golden pocket. I don't know how long that lasts. I mean, you don't typically just continue to bounce off of the golden pocket. So, Kareem, good morning. I know you made some money on Biddy. You and I both. What you looking for today? Let's see, turbo. No actual changes in here either. Yeah, the market hasn't really changed much. I wish, because there'd be more to talk about, but it really hasn't. So there's nothing for me to really give. It's just all patience right now. Patience and boring. I don't care what market you're in right about now. It's just not giving a lot. I'm going to move this since we did that. Actually, I'm going to do this like that. You have taken some profit, sir. I have taken zero just yet. I'm slipping. I am slipping. I saw the little pullback yesterday, and I was like, okay, just let it pull back a little bit. That's fine. But I woke up this morning and we pushed up, from last night, we pushed up a little bit higher. But I still haven't taken any profit yet. Don't know what I'm waiting for. Let's see. I'm just going to push this to the line chart. It makes more sense. See, Orca 4. Oh, Orca 4 hour looks nice. It's a nice looking 4 hour time frame. Looks like we're just into standard deviation 2, just coming back down. Well, we're in between standard deviation 1 and 2 right now. But I mean, I like the RSI over here. I don't think that's really any. See if that's a bear div. Might be a little bit of an exaggerated. No, it's not. Yeah, it is a little bit of an exaggerated bear div in here on the 4 hour, but nonetheless, I actually like this. This looks pretty decent. Orca's a sleeper. That's it. At least I think it is. We'll see. To give it a little bit more time to mature, but nonetheless, um, this isn't bad looking. And like I said, you're in between standard deviation 1 and 2. Yeah, in between standard deviation 1 and 2 over here. Hmm. Let's see the 12-hour. We're just be getting started over here on the 12-hour. Oh, let me check the. It's the weekly. I think it's the weekly. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, this thing is gonna. Yeah, Orca's gonna pop. It's gonna pop. It's just real slow. You can already see that whatever sort of squeeze is happening over here with Orca is just low volatility read right now. That's a really low volatility read. So you just kind of hitting standard deviation 1 up and down and just staying within this range right now. But this indicates that you're going to get a nice break to the upside over here. Now the last time it did it, let's see, that was back here in March. I can't remember where I bought it at. I think I might have bought it. No, that was 2024. I had to have done it in here. I did it in here. I bought it in here, and when it got this nice pump up, I sold out half of it, and I still have the rest of it on, in my spot. But this indicates some sort of an explosive move. Like, this is a good chart. This is a good chart. I like this one. Yeah, a lot of people. Even yesterday, I didn't really look at the chart too much, but in my YouTube feed, like, I could see that a couple of people were just they were really questioning that Bitcoin might be going lower. And yeah, we ended up just pushing up higher. Actually, I think we look pretty decent right now for Bitcoin. So I'm looking, we got like a little bit of a potential inverse head and shoulder. We haven't actually did we confirm it? I think we may have confirmed it. Yeah, we confirmed it. With the target up to that next little zone in here. Let's see. Yeah, we have this little inverse head and shoulder right here. I didn't check volume to see if it confirms it, but if we do push up, then we would come into here. So if we can do that, that would be great. And then I'd definitely be taking a profit off of that. I didn't really look at our daily to see what our daily was looking like. Mm. Looks like we keep consolidating here on the daily, but it's not it's not a trashy chart though. But it does look like we would continue to consolidate a little bit in here. Yeah. 114.5. Yeah. Yeah. And then we flop down. We got I know we have that unemployment claims today, and then tomorrow we have core PCE. Yeah. I already know what we have going on next week. But yeah. We're almost through the month though. We're almost through the month. So August, September, October. I can't wait to see what happens in October, the end of October. We might be pumping this time. No, I was looking for us to start to trend down into that bear market. But if we keep doing what we're doing now, maybe we won't. I didn't even realize that when we got that push down, we actually dipped back into this little range in here that we had. But I'm going to delete that now. That has changed. I got to update my chart over here. Oh, let me check that. Yeah. With our negative cross here. Let me change this one. Got bull dips on money flow. Haven't really been looking at money flow too much, but we do have bull dips on money flow on this daily. Yeah, I'm gonna TP definitely if we do get somewhere up around that 114. Really 115. Somewhere around that 115 is what I'm looking at. But we do have bull dips on money flow. So this is just what I'm kind of looking at right now for price action to kind of hold, just based on the 4-hour. So far, the 4-hour has really been giving a lot. So 1 hour, 15-minute would be in here. It'd be just above here, but it would be in here. So we wouldn't be able to afford to come below 112,609. Yeah, so it'll be somewhere in here though. Towards the lower part of this. Won't be able to do more than that on the 15-minute time frame, and then these two are your 4-hour. Then this is like some sort of a rising formation in here, which we're back to doing that, either either some sort of a head and shoulder, be it inverse or just your bearish head and shoulder, and then some sort of a rising or falling structure. But yeah, you're definitely getting bull deals off this drop though. I guess just another boring day, another boring start. Yeah, last night it was like somewhere right in here, and we got like this little wick in here, and just a chop throughout here. I saw some people getting really bearish on that, and then I woke up and we were we were even above where we were in here, even broke through this whole little range in here. So yeah, somewhere in here. That's my thought. We'll see. All right, so this Orca. Ave's been doing pretty good, but choppy chart. So I guess we were right in here or something when I looked at Ave on Tuesday. Slide that up. We were looking for that to hold. at some point. mm, I wouldn't buy this one. That doesn't look good. Good old Pop Cat. Pop Cat is not popping. Let me just say that. RSR baby. RSR. All right, so we're on the 786 right now. RSR. You'll be back regularly until you. Don't lose your money, Loopy. Do not be losing your money. Please do not lose your money. If it's one thing I'm good at, Loopy, it's levels. Okay. You leverage trade or you spot? Let me see if this is still the same for me. No Brett. I barely touch meme coins. I just bought that what is that one? See, I can't even tell you what I got. Floki. I just bought that Floki. I know I barely touch meme coins. I have some. I have Turbo. I've been holding for a while. And I have Ship. And then I added Floki. But I barely touch meme coins though. No high leverage trades. Yeah, Loopy, no high leverage trading. I always say now that my goal is not to get rich, my goal is to not be broke. And so many of us, we're looking for them fast gains. We hear stories about other people and how they put $20 into a meme coin. It turned into millions. It's a rare circumstance. It's a very rare circumstance, or I don't know, just in general, how people have really made it in the crypto space. But yeah, I have minimized my efforts to just not being broke. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to lose like that. Like, I don't have to make the massive gains to be happy. Everything adds up. It's more than what you had before. So walk away with more than what you put in. But definitely, I think that for beginners, I suggest using real money. Like, a lot of people tell you to paper trade, but paper trading requires no emotions whatsoever. And when you really start trading, your biggest battle is going to be with your emotions, and you won't feel that unless you put some real money in the market. So just let it be small. and just have your strategy. But yeah, no high leverage trading. Unless you're using really low amounts of money, then you can high leverage trade because you're not worried about losing that. But no. If I go to slide that leverage bar and that thing tells me you're more likely to get hunted, I slide it right back down. Let's see, RSR. So RSR is basically in between this one, which is at 0.009, and then this one down here, 0.005. So you probably wouldn't be looking for it to tap back into this. So if RSR did, be looking for somewhere around here, maybe the return to the downside. Yeah, that's pretty close to, yeah, that's in between the golden pocket 786. So that still hasn't happened yet. And I think that this was based on, I don't think that it was based on, yeah, it's based on this one. So it's based on the weekly time frame. So any sort of a push down, you really be looking for it to hold a return in here. Since you continue to put in a higher low through here, you wouldn't expect that. Let's see what I get on the monthly. Don't really care for the monthly. So you're just basically in between 1 and 1, or 1 and or standard deviation 2 and 2. No, 1 and 1. Okay, yeah, 1 and 1. But nothing significant happening off of the 2-week time frame here for RSR. Probably come back down. Yeah, I'll be looking somewhere in here around the return if it does come back down in here. Might be a gold. Vet been doing good. Vet has been doing. I know you look at this chart and it's like, yeah, that is not looking good. But VeChain's been doing pretty good. Not the worst chart, we're just still ranging. So nothing's changed here either. We're either in between here at this 0.002 or somewhere up here at 0.03. So 1 penny difference of a range here for VeChain so far. And the last time we look at it, we hit both of the opportunities, long setup opportunities that were presented. Both of those played out. So nothing new to look at here with VeChain at the moment. Daily time frame, don't like it. 4-hour time frame, a little small push up coming. A small push up is coming, but maybe that's just back into the golden pocket, or maybe the 786, but it's not showing anything wild happening right now. But you can look for that at least maybe just back into this, or come up in here what the 786 in this weekly level is. for V-Chain. Let me see what this over here doing. Kyber. Wow. Okay. I don't know why that looks that way. Maybe it's from a daily or something. Yeah, it's from the daily line chart. This is just one big inefficiency here. Just one big inefficiency. So far as maintaining, that's what I'll be looking for though. 29, if it continue to push down lower, that's what I'll be looking for. But Kyber has been doing pretty decent. Not my cup of tea, but Kyber has been doing pretty decent here as well. I'm gonna get back on Bitcoin chart. We're not really doing anything. Just chopping around. We're trying to get that push back up. So the push back up will put us just slightly over this point right here. Probably somewhere right in here. Yeah, probably somewhere right in here. If we do push up. Since we're swinging. I got some fresh hot coffee, but I haven't tasted any. It's getting cold now. Been trying to really stay away from the coffee. It doesn't work for me. And I heard a doctor say on a YouTube video the other day, he said people say that it doesn't work for them, but it's actually bothering you. It actually does something to you. I was like, it really only puts me to sleep. Coffee puts me to sleep. It's supposed to have the effect of, I don't know, giving you some sort of adrenaline or energy or something, and it only puts me to sleep. And I drink it simply because you get to put this sweet little creamer inside of it, and that's my sugar intake. So other than that, I get tired from coffee. But boy, I had an energy drink one time. This was several years back. It was my very first energy drink too. I don't even remember what the name of that thing was, but I broke out into an itch all over. Like my head was really itching. Like I was itching all over. I called my system like, if I die, I told her the name of the energy drink. And that was the cause. Like I never had something that made me feel like that. It wasn't energetic. It was just I was itching. I was told it was from all the I don't know, the B12 or something like that. I don't know how some people drink those all day long. I used to work with somebody who just popped them all day. They don't even give you energy. Well, didn't give me energy. Caffeine doesn't give me energy. And I'm rambling. What more do I have to do right now? So I'm rambling. All right, Crow. About 60% up today. Jupiter up with Soul. Bubbles are starting to get a little bit more green in here. Top 100 anyway. And we're just holding the low of the CME gap we looked at earlier. I'm back to increasing my protein intake. And protein has gotten super expensive. I haven't had to go in the store and buy any, like, powder forms or your pre-mixed bottles or whatever in a few years now. But since I'm back in the gym, yeah, everything is going up. Everything. Like, protein is expensive, and you get the little 4-pack. Like, if you have to drink like your what is it, a gram per your body weight, you will go through a ton of protein. Like, somebody like me, I don't weigh that much. Haven't stepped on the scale here lately, but I've been stuck somewhere around 142. And I'm tall, so yeah, I've been stuck somewhere around 142. So I'll probably be drinking, a little 4-pack. That little 4-pack, it's like $10 a day. I guess it's this, $10 a day. And I know you can get it from your animals if you eat them. Now, I don't eat too much meat. Eat my turkey bacon every morning, just about. So if you hear me crunching in the background, that's what it is. It's my breakfast. As I continue to ramble. I told you about the other day when I was in the gym trying to be competitive with other people who I should have been minding my own business. So I minded my own business yesterday. I started to get up and hit the gym at 12 this morning just to get it out of the way so I could just do my walk later. But I didn't. And I could have, because they're doing some sort of construction outside on the road. And again, I live right next to the interstate. And so the road is sitting right outside my window. And all you hear is this, whatever the little drill thing they used is. That's all I got to hear. So I couldn't really get any good sleep anyway. It is so rude. It is really so rude. Come on, Bitcoin. Yeah, Crow is printing. So I just got this thing not that long ago. I am up today. I'm up 185% today. But well, we would just round that off and say 186. I'm up 186 today on my Crow position. And so I picked it up at 12 cents. And it is currently at what, 35, 36? So it's not doing bad. It's really about the only thing in my portfolio right now. That and I mean, Undo's barely up, but that, Jito, and Solana, really. Everything else is down, but I think it's time to revamp my portfolio again and get rid of some things. So speaking of which, my timing probably will change. Not my 5 a.m. is always going to be 5 a.m. I just happen to like 5 a.m. Um, But my ability, I went through a point where I was just sitting in front of the charts all day long, and it started to cause some problems, my sciatic nerve and all of that good stuff. So I have a standing desk too. I don't want to stand right now because I'll be moving around a lot more today. So probably like 8 a.m. Thank you. All right, we're just chopping and being bored. Ethereum, sitting in the same spot right now. Again, our the data comes out today. Let me put this back over here on this chart over here. So just waiting on 8:30. 8:30 for those numbers. I see Nvidia ended up taking a little bit of a tumble. Not much. I'm looking at it here off the 1 hour time frame. Oh wow, boy. Boy. This will all happen on Wednesday. I didn't even look at the charts on Wednesday, to tell you the truth. Like I said, I didn't look at the charts yesterday. I didn't realize that hold on, no, that wasn't that Wednesday. That was another Wednesday. I'm like, geez. But while I'm waiting on Bitcoin, I do want to get into this one a little bit right here. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. I should have taken that short. And I looked at it here and I said it was hitting resistance as it was coming up. So you have these two places right in here. We just kind of bounced up this trend line all the way up until we took the snippet of liquidity above and then started to roll down. I should have taken that. Some things you just don't short though. Previous high, previous low. So pre-market was sitting down here around 178. I know that they reported. So now all you hear is Nvidia in trouble? Like, are we not still at the top? Are we in trouble? Is Nvidia in trouble? Like, when you still sitting at the top, like, how do you even have that conversation? Like, I can see seriously, people, is Nvidia stock in trouble? Do you see where we're sitting at? Do you see where we're sitting at? And we're asking, are we in trouble? Like, look at this. Yeah, it's in trouble. Clickbaiting. Palantir still trying to hold up. Coin is still holding the range for coin. TTD slowed down considerably. Then there's Hood. Nice reject. If we can get it down here to this 84, 88, that'd be great. Pre-market 103. I mean, there's really nothing to do in here right now. Absolutely nothing to do in here right now. But put on some patience. This still looks pretty decent over here on the RSI on the 1 hour time frame, just 15 minute at the moment. So no major concerns coming in over here right now. And so wherever this is meeting at here on the RSI, that's something that I will be watching. Like, you may not have this, your setup may not be like mine's, but what you can do is you can just go based on your trend line and just do it like that instead. And wherever your RSI meets that down here, that'll be your lowest level you'd be looking for. And you want to see price action hold there. You can't really tell it like this, but like how I have it like this. So if price was to start dropping and you see it coming into this zone right here, if you're seeing this line up with it in here, then you know for sure that that's your level, speaking of which price needs to hold. It gives you that confluence, but right now it looks fine. Like each time the delta did drop below the zero line, the MACD stayed above, and we just only pivoted back up, pivoted back to the upside from there. So it stayed above the zero line, which is a good thing. In terms of that volume here, to give some sort of a confirmation, I haven't looked at that, but that's some pretty decent volume in here. Some decent volume right around in here. Not so much over in here. Would you want to see 3 spikes in volume? You don't really have that. So, like I said, this, these double patterns running together, because you don't have that volume confirmation here for the inverse. It still looks like it nonetheless, but you don't have the volume confirmation in here for it. You just have to see how it goes. See if it does play out and pushes us into here. Otherwise, as it was earlier looking at it, it may be more along these lines in here. We start to break up part past this point right here, and I'll lift this to the actual wick. But for now, just leaving it as so. And let me just double check. So it could be that too. Until we know what this is going to be. If it's going to be the inverse, or if it's going to be this, I want to say bear flaggy situation. I don't really like this part in here. This little gap. Guess we can take some scalps, right? I'm gonna wait for the next move though. Take some scalp positions since it's a little boring. Even the 5 minutes suggests that we could probably, I'm not gonna keep this in here, but somewhere. Maybe. Right now, I suggest waiting until it makes a move. This wouldn't be a good scalp now, not short or long. So it needs to actually move. So if it comes up into here, might be inclined to look for a scalp short position. If you did a scalp on this now, it would be something like this. Like your stop would actually just say you enter right in here. Your stop would have to be there. This isn't much because you probably get stopped out. You see, I don't like how wide that is. It's only 11%, but I don't like how wide that is. If you were looking to scalp this, that's how it would have to go. So once it drops below here, might be in a pickle. If it doesn't drop below there, let's just say it holds where it is now, it might be actually better. See how it's stalling out? It's trying to manage some support right in there. So this might give you a better, might actually would give you a better risk to reward in here. Well, then dropped it down to a 0.07% for a reward ratio of 4. So that would be better. As a scalp. I mean, your stop would definitely have to be here. Definitely. We'll see how this goes. We're not actually in this. So yeah, it's already below that threshold. That's why I don't like that gap that I said I didn't like this, because of this gap. Usually when that happens, the first thing you flick coming down is this yellow. You'll never want that to be the first thing you hit, because that's the first thing you hit, then it's selling pressure. You want it to be closer together, enough to where this can cross over. You want to have less of a difference in here. Like, it didn't really matter in here, but the strategy is that it works most of the time when it's more like this than it will if it's like this. But I'll let you know when I seriously take something, just to play around for a little while, till the market, till the news comes out or something, just to not keep it so boring right here. I'm gonna set this to the point that it actually needs to come back above. See if I can do that. All right. So this would be the point that price action has to come back above right now for this, so that canceled out whatever we're looking at over here. My next consideration would be, let's see, it would be that. That would be my next consideration. Let me see how much of a change that would be. That's 10. And it looks like you would still be able to get into here. Possibly still be able to get into there. So I'm going to set this one over here. The structure on this is really, really good for some sort of a channel, which would generally drop to the downside, but just the formation is really good. Just pointing that out. I just want to see if that took liquidity off of that little point. It did. Did it? Hold on, did it? 113,000. No, I missed it by like a penny or a dollar, something like that. May got it now. Yeah, it got it now. So that means it comes down here somewhere around this one. And it looks like this might be, let's see, this is testing. No, it's not even testing that yet. I assumed that it was, and it's not. Okay. Yeah, 1 minute. 1 minute suggests the same thing. That price would need to get back above this line in here for this one. So have to get back above here to even want to consider getting long on it. Otherwise, it'll be a rejection point. And where price is currently sitting at, or where it dropped down into. Just the 1 minute. Yeah, it would need to stay above here on the 1 minute. It would need to stay above here. Yeah, so 1 minute suggests that price action needs to be able to hold in here. And that a stop would be here. But I mean, entry point wouldn't be up until here. So it would have to get above here. Otherwise, it wouldn't be worth pursuing. It's 113.010. And then I dropped to a 5-minute chart and it's still boring. One hour might have a problem. I'm gonna move this line. Oh, never mind. Now it might have a problem right there. It might. And that's just 1 hour. One hour clearance did drop just below this entry point. I don't think the 5-minute did. No, you still want to see that on the 5-minute. 5-minute might be right here. So yeah, it's no good. It's no good. It's still going down on the 15-minute anyway. Look here at the RSI and the RSI cloud cover. MACD still bearish in this light blue color, whatever that is that I put on it. Just say light blue for now. Started to look a little bit like a head and shoulder. All right, let's see how it does right there now. We shall see. See how it does with that. This still, I don't know why it's on there. This still is on to come back up. I'm just gonna measure this out just in case. That's all right. Oh, you're in a short. You know what? There is nothing particular that generally happens when unemployment claims comes out. Like, I mean, the market, yeah, the volatility just sent it in either direction. It was sending in both directions, honestly. So there is no one-sided answer to that. As long as you have your stops in place. So, Loopy, please make sure you have your stop loss in place at somewhere you feel like it would be invalidated, where you're not losing too much money if it goes against you. I don't think you could be wrong with a short right now. Um, yeah, just be careful. All right. All right, so I think we pretty much tapped into this part right here where the 5 and 15 were suggesting that price action needed to hold. So that's 5 and 15. You know, the 4 is down here, so I'm always trying to look at a bigger picture, but this is 5 and 15 right here. Yeah, actually, just slightly below that threshold for the hold. Just actually slightly below that. Yeah, short isn't a bad idea. It really isn't. Especially if you took it from somewhere in here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 red candles in a row. No actual real reaction through here. Seven. Drop back on his 5. I don't know why that didn't carry over. Where did I do that from here? Oh, let me drop this down a little bit. I have 1 hour to go for this little unemployment and prelim. This little GDP. I do need to go in and update this portion in here off of the 15-minute time frame. I don't really have anything to really go on in here, to be honest. Not anymore. You can do this right here up to yeah, I can do this right here now. Just sort of. Let me see. Don't really have anything in here. Let's see. Hmm. Yeah, you wouldn't have a choice but to hold in here. Otherwise, you drop here and then validate some sort of a head and shoulder formation in here. So you really need to hold in here. All right, let me just check over here and see what else is happening because that's killing me. All right, both Ethereum and Bitcoin dominance is actually dropping. And Solana versus ETH. Everything is dropping, which is weird. USDT dominance. That dropping too. Okay, it has a green candle. I just need to drop to the same time frame. So USDT dominance is going up right now on the 1 hour time frame. Put in a little hammer candle. No. A bottom and tail on the 1 hour. Got a bearish engulfing right behind. Let me see. A third candle from that. Bitcoin dominance going down. Yeah, MACD and Delta both bearish. RSI. A small hint of bullish divergence on the RSI. Yeah, this is probably going to validate. So there is no scalp long to be had right now. Nope. No scalp long to be had right now, unfortunately. I don't think that this coming back up above this point right here be relevant anymore either. So I'm gonna drop that one. And then just wait for this one to get invalidated because there really isn't anything in here to do. I guess a little shooting star in here probably was a good short. Just not somewhere I wanted to take one, but it's a good short. All right, let me look at something else and see what we got. Oh boy. So after we get the data, I'm gonna call it a stream. It's not gonna be too much happening after that. After that at 8:30, there's really nothing else in here that might move the market a little bit. And I'm gonna just go ahead while I'm at it and just recap. Let me put this back on a 15-minute. All right, so I will continue to be looking for potentially taking a short position. Let's just say price does manage to get a push up into here. That would be the measured move if we do have some sort of an inverted head and shoulder in here. Um, Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, potentially. But this could also be some sort of a rising channel formation, bear flaggy type situation happening in here. So you have been advised. Only way you're really gonna know. I mean, it did validate that this could be a inverse head and shoulder. It did validate it with the neckline break right across here. But like I said, if that move isn't happening into here, then could be coming down. This is the first level you want to see hold in here. I think this one I said came. No, this one is the 4-hour time frame. First one, second one right here, and this is the first one. This is just the last leg in the sand. Really, if price was to fall back down, it'll be taking liquidity from here. But if it does get a push to the downside, you would still be good enough to where price could potentially bounce back up. But yeah, that's like the lowest point right there, that 110,408. And then you have this one in here, which would be the start of that downfall right here. Price was to drop below this. Then your momentum starts to shift. Momentum starts to shift to the downside below this one, but you actually lose all hope of momentum if you come below this one right here. So those are the levels that I'm watching to the downside here for Bitcoin. These two in here. And then the move up would be in here, which is a little bit higher than what I'm looking at in terms of that potential short. So that potential short, it would go beyond this this golden pocket. That would be, I think it was somewhere closer about the 786. So that would put it somewhere closer in here towards this move in here. Somewhere closer to that 786, 115.5, something like that for Bitcoin, validating the inverse, playing out the measured move for the inverse head and shoulder. But really, you're trying to hold support in here right now on the 4-hour. I need to move that. Okay. Yeah, this is in line with where the bottom side of the CME gap is at. So how we're holding in here. So why is my hold down here? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Okay, that's because what we're trying to hold at now, it really isn't of relevance. That's really not of relevance. It is literally right in here. So if we start to fall below this, we could get some sort of a cloud cover that could send prices back down into here, and then this will be your last leg of defense. Right now on your 4-hour time frame, that'll be your last leg of defense. And like I said, what we're trying to hold at now, you're basically just looking at the low end of this CME gap in here. So right across here, this is your CME gap where it starts at. You're basically just trying to hold that as some sort of potential support. I'm just looking to be petty right now. Hmm. Outside of that, look at this. Let me see what this doing. Hmm. At 5 minutes on this 8-hour candle close. I don't really like this. You're still right in here. You are on the cusp of dropping below this blue signal line right here. So once you lose that, once you lose this point right here, that's your 1 hour. Once you lose that, you're likely to come back into here. Even though this looks way better right in here. That looks way better. And I started to suggest playing around with Crow. Got a nice little candle on the 15-minute time frame right now, and just kind of pumping up. I mean, it's at the top, so you're playing around at the top though. We might hold out in here until that data comes out. All right, new 4-hour candle. Let me just check what that looks like. That remains to look pretty decent in here on the 4-hour time frame. Mm-hmm. Yay. I got my order today. So I got my supplement today that I ordered through Amazon. I was just looking at my phone, heard a little ding ding, little alert come through. Let's see how this works out for me. All right. Yeah, they're gonna hold price action till market. I'm sorry, until the data drops. They'll probably drop the price. They'll probably drop it. I'm gonna move this over here. It's already broken it, so I just might as well move it to where it actually broke it. It's almost perfect with our whole level here for the 4 hour. Below this bottom line right here, you break. I think that's 1 hour. Break 1 hour momentum. As I am a big momentum trader. No, I'm sorry. It's actually below here. I don't have this synced in over there. No, I'm not gonna do it. Let me 15-minute it. Actually, it'll show up like this for me. Yeah. So yeah. So, So literally below here, you break strides for momentum on the 1 hour time frame. Which is funny how we're holding right there. You break stride for that. 1. Delete that. I may just actually walk my 7 to 8 miles today and call it quits. I may not even go into the gym today. I'm just really exhausted. My workout time after I finish the walk and all that good stuff is like, I don't know, maybe 3, sometimes 3 to 4 hours walking and hitting the gym at the same time. But yeah, by the time I'm done altogether, it's like 3 to 4 hours. And so I'm just exhausted. So I may just do the walk today and I won't do anything else. I can't wait to share my results. I'm giving myself like a good 3 months. A good 3 months to get somewhat shredded. That may sound awful for a woman, but somewhat. Not masculine, but keeping it sexy. But yeah, I can't wait to share my results. I took my first picture in the mirror yesterday. You know, just to see the transformation over time. Four weeks should be really good, but which is 1 month, but 3 months, new me. I'll be winter ready. It's really a lot of people's off season is winter. It's gonna be my own season. Oh boy. 15 minutes now for that data. Like I said, it looks like they're going to send it down. And just continue to watch those two levels that I gave you. This one here at 112, 360, just to round that off. And then the other one down here at 110, 409, just to round that one off as well. I just continue to watch those two. And it's going to suck if price comes down into here. But, you know, like I said, this is the first one here for the 4 hour right there. So it looks like this will be getting deleted. And this isn't something that I took or I encouraged anyone to take, just trying to see if we could hold those levels, and we're not holding it, not given a reason to really want to take it for a scalp position, not given a reason to really want to take it. We're too slow to want to take anything right now. But this, the way I put it in here, measured move is down to 112 too, about 112, we'll just say 260. And then this will probably lead us into our Bollinger Band squeeze breakdown. That's probably what this will be leading us into. So the squeeze will be sending us down based on the 15-minute. It's not too far for it to really go down here. Well, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's probably like the worst. I think if you were doing this anyway, that would have been stopped out. Yeah, that would have been stopped out if you were taking that anyway. So yeah, it doesn't look. Really think there's anything in between that. I'll pull this from the bottom. Just do it like this for now. Take the 50 out. Still trying to hold on to that CME gap, it seems, but I don't like it. I don't like it. We would have to take out this low. Let me just see what that is. I may have did this on. We'll have to take out that low. Taking out that low would put it down here around this golden pocket. Everything points down. And the midpoint in here is below this low. And we just swept the liquidity from the inside bar, that first one. Yeah, we just swept that liquidity. I thought I looked at that earlier. I did look at it earlier. I didn't sync it. And that actually is in line with that momentum line also. So, yeah. All right, 6 minutes on this data. Volatility might be starting to kick in right here. And then after this, I'm going to call it a day. I appreciate you all so much. So much for allowing me to ramble, which I'll continue to do, especially in boring times, and just for stopping by. Sadly, there isn't much to the market right now. Got a few stragglers out there, but that's it. Crow just continues to print some dollars in here. I promise you, I started to play with this a little bit. I mean, I have my spot position, but I started to play with it a little bit. Changed my mind. I don't know what line is. I'm messing with that. Radium. All right. All right, 5 minutes starting to get above a threshold it needs to cross. I don't know if that makes a difference on any other time frame, but for the 5 minute it does. Three minutes till news. Maybe this will be where I get to take profit off of my long position. The one from Tuesday. I didn't do anything today. Watching this clock makes me think about New Year's. Such a big kid. I actually want to see this one come in less than and this one greater than. In reverse is good for currency. I hate how it's always pending. And I said you want to see this one come in less than. That didn't happen. You want to see this one come in greater than, and that didn't happen. So no bueno. We tried to get one little spike in here, but that was it. But it's no bueno. It's no good. So they shall send it down. That's the direction it was going to go anyway. Still slow. Still slow. They're trying to psych us out. Are they trying to psych us out? Look at that. This is why you can't play around with news. Because technically, really, less than on GDP and greater than on unemployment would have been good for crypto. But instead, those numbers were actually good for the US dollar. So yeah, those numbers are actually good for the US dollar. It's not good for crypto, even though we're trying to, whatever they're trying to do over here, it doesn't make sense. It'll be going down more than likely. I would be looking for it to come down. We didn't even take out this high right here. So, I mean, I'm still looking for it to come down now just to kind of play this out. Probably pop back into here. If it goes up, I'm gratefully happy. I am very happy, especially if we can get into here. Then I'm very happy if we can do that. But just those numbers, if price action is going to move based on that that data that we just got, then you will be looking for it to come down. But with that said, just here for a measured move on the inverse head and shoulders, that's here. Any moves down, you have this range in here, 4-hour coiling range in here. First level, you'd be looking for price to hold again, 112.360. Maybe you could just get a sweep of liquidity right here and push back up. That would be great for Bitcoin. Otherwise, the next level and the final line in the sand would be down here, which just kind of breaks all of this. You know, we do have some sort of a bear flag horizon formation in here, so that's to your downside, what you can look for. Otherwise, I see you in the morning at 5 a.m. and I appreciate you so dearly.